Hello, we are trying to catch up all the editorials of missed days, that is from January 22nd onwards. So I did 23, 24, 25 and all. Now 27 is what we'll discuss, and in another 2 days I'll try to catch up till February 4th, okay, which is today. So please see to it that you watch all the previous episodes and you're connected with me in Instagram, WhatsApp, email, everywhere, because we are posting a lot of content for free there. And if you are a very serious aspirant for 2022, there is a 120 days timetable in which we'll give you 100 test PDF which will be self-studyable in your home. There's editable Excel timetable also, which you can change whenever you join. Like if you join today, the first 2 days if you missed, you can simply change the date and then start again. Okay, because in the 120 days, 100 days of effective study, if you do, you can complete the entire syllabus and you will easily clear this prelims. Okay, we are covering all the standard textbooks through our test. So please WhatsApp me and I'll give you the video link and you can join immediately. Okay, many students have joined in the last 1 week because they understand that we have been giving results. Okay, Vysh versus UPSC videos you can watch every year. 100 plus marks are solvable from our test series. And if you don't want a series, there are free classes also in Hindi and English. For that, you just have to hit the subscribe button and WhatsApp me. Daily, I'll give you the video links, okay, of Hindi and English of all lectures. So first we'll see the agenda for today. First is about India-Pakistan relationship, which is in a very bad kind of phase now in the last 4-5 years. So now some religious related, some tie-up, some Gurudwara related corridor they are discussing. So that we'll see. Then taxation. So this is about retrospective tax. You should see retrospective terms like something which we put later. Okay, meaning something, a crime or something happens and there will be a punishment for it. But later after that you put a new law giving a new punishment which is even higher than the previous punishment. So that is called retrospectively you are charging something. Okay, it can be taxation, it can be criminal laws, it can be anything. So that retrospective when you do, the company will be suffering more. Okay, because when they did that thing or when they were charged something, that time it was a different law, and now when according to your condition India is now changing the law, that is not acceptable. So actually these companies, Vodafone, Kane Energy, these people went against India in the court and they actually won the case also. India lost the case, and so that some taxation I think is pending. Okay, something has to be refunded, something is going on. So there's nothing much to discuss, but you just understand this concept, retrospective taxation, that is actually not correct. Okay, so that is what happened now. This article, if you see, is food processing, which we'll discuss, and this is about UP elections. So election related articles, we'll not even read it because it's of no use. Okay, food processing is important for your GS3, that we'll discuss. Then here, if you see, this is Andhra versus Telangana. Every time something will be there, some new district formation, also some governor versus chief minister issue. Problems are always there. It's a state related local issue, we don't have to discuss. Okay, then here, if you see, this Uttarakhand elections again. As I told, elections we will not discuss. Then this one is a article on this Holocaust. Okay, that is against Jewish things which happened during the time of Hitler, that there is a Holocaust Remembrance Day. So about that, it's a very interesting article we'll discuss. And this one is also a very interesting article. It's about the medical reservation, the NEET exam, why Tamil Nadu is protesting, because they had a very good model of putting doctors into government service and all. So that now when this NEET exam came with everyone having the same uniform laws and all, it is actually affecting their model. Okay, so they don't want that center's model of NEET exams. So that protesting, and so we'll understand the whole Tamil Nadu model. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting if you are preparing for UPSC. So please stay tuned and watch till the end. Okay. And Vysh courses channel has daily videos on non-editorial news items, and it is going to be very important. Okay, this new IAS cadre rules is there. Then Gaganyaan mission is going to come. Then this Unity Sat mission by students of India. Then ISRO has launched SSLV. Then there is this Bitcoin, which was a legal tender in El Salvador. They even had a Bitcoin city. Now IMF is asking them to stop it. So these are very interesting things which will be potential questions for your UPSC exam. Okay, so please see to it that you are watching them and subscribing them as well. And tell me in comment section under the respective playlist which lectures you want to be continued. Based on that, our team will take up the playlist. Okay, so now the first article is about India-Pakistan ties. So at a time when most other India-Pakistan exchanges are suspended, okay, everything you know, last 5 years, even SAARC meetings, nothing is happening. Okay, so now a proposal has come from the Pakistan Hindu Council. Okay, they have forwarded to India to allow pilgrims of both countries to travel by air. Okay, so this is the proposal. So Islamabad Delhi ties is at its worst now. Last 5 years, there is no single political dialogue also. India has stopped all the normal communications and cultural exchanges. And also after the 370 article which India revoked, Pakistan also told we will not do any export or import, and they also have cut the trade. So both the people, for their own reasons, have cut the trades, and they have downsized their diplomatic missions. COVID-19 pandemic is the another reason because of which the borders are also physically sealed also since last 2 years. So even the movement of pilgrims have been cancelled. You know, the when India is divided into two, it's actually Punjab which was divided into two. Okay, in the western side. So there the Sikh, their religious beliefs, their main Gurudwara, everything is there in Pakistan side. So this Kartarpur corridor, which was there in 2019, that time it was hoped that okay, now ties will improve and all, but exactly that time Pulwama attack and all happened, and it again went worse. Okay, now Muslim pilgrims from Pakistan and Hindus and Sikhs from India are governed by a protocol signed in 1974. That is, there can be religious exchanges. There was a protocol signed in 1974 and are allowed to continue. So if you see here, they are giving some examples like this Hinglaj Mata Mandir in Balochistan, Paramhans Mandir in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. These are the places where the Hindus from India want to go to Pakistan. And same way, Muslims from Pakistan want to come in India to visit the Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Rajasthan, the Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. Okay, so these are the places where they want to travel each other and then visit the places. Now, Pakistan Hindu Council, which has signed an MOU with Pakistan International Airlines, is like going to facilitate this faith-based tour groups so that this can happen. From their side, this proposal has come. So this would be the first time such air travel has taken place in years. A pilgrim group on both sides are vetted before being allowed to travel, meaning they're fully checked and everything is done. So security threat additionally won't come. Okay, they'll come through the legal proper route, which is monitored completely. So hopefully no threat will come. So this people-to-people initiatives is a kind of sign of goodwill, and so the author is suggesting that India should not completely deny it. Okay, so no evident harm to national interest is going to come. And if you see, there have been events like LOC ceasefire announcement was there, then reopening the Kartarpur corridor in November, then government's nod for cricket under the T20 World Cup. So like this, many small things have been happening. So in reflex action, if you see, government will deny the request. Okay, when you hear something in Pakistan, we are actually going to deny, but if it will be wiser if you give the proposal some deliberate consideration. That is what the author is telling, because such soft ties has to be improved, because one Swajpai also told you can change your friends, you can change your enemies, but you cannot change your neighbors. Okay, neighbors geographically are going to be constant. So that is something which we have to consider. Now food processing, which is a GS3 article. So here if you see what's for dinner, the answer concerns every living being. Okay, food is something which without which anybody, whether you're rich or poor, whoever, you cannot live without food. Okay, so food connects us all. Okay, whether it's in the past or future. So the challenge to feed the 10 billion population by mid-century is therefore being deliberated on several fronts. It demands efficient ways of production that are both economically viable and ecologically sustainable. Okay, meaning it will be affordable also, sustainable also, and it should not have any harmful effect on the ecology also. So technologies are emerging, which is going to give a lower environmental footprint and all when we process all these food items. So now India has formulated a scheme, okay, a production linked incentive scheme which aims to incentivize incremental sales. Okay, meaning as per the sales happen, you will get incentives, and so that's a production linked incentive scheme. So a sum of 10,900 crore has been put out for the scheme, and around 60 applicants have already been selected under this category. And then beneficiaries have been obliged to commit a minimum investment while applying for the scheme. Okay, so their investment also will come. The sector is likely to witness at least 6,500 crore worth of investment over the next 2 years. So this kind of one scheme is there. That is why we are discussing this. Okay. And in United States studies, if you see, 1% increase in public infrastructure increase the food manufacturing output by 0.06 in the longer run. Okay. So more you have public infrastructure, cold storage, all these things, you will be having more food manufacturing units. Okay. And production output. So higher investment is being concentrated in some states like Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so whenever a mains question comes on food processing, you should quote these are the states where more investments are there. And these are, if you see, there's a good governance index 2020-21 ranked among the highest in the public infrastructure and utility parameter, with connectivity to rural habitation showing the highest improvement. Okay, so in this index, okay, tell me in comment section if you know this index is released by whom. So this one, they are telling like what is ranked in which and which are categories. Okay, now sales promotion is positively related to increased sales volume, but inversely related to profitability. Okay, so more and more sales promotion is there, you will have more and more sales. Okay, but profitability may come down initially. Now, 13 key sectors are announced under this PLIS. The food processing PLIS earmarks dedicated category 3 for supporting branding and marketing activities in foreign market. Okay, so it's not only about the Indian domestic market, it's about branding and marketing in foreign markets also. Okay, and we have to reach the untapped markets in Europe, in Middle East, West Asia, Africa, Oceania, Japan. Everywhere you can explore if you have more production units. Okay, now because of the pandemic, the past 2 years have been witnessing a significant number of people working from home. Okay, so this is obviously going to accelerate the demand of products like ready to eat market, because everybody are at home. Okay, whether it's a husband or wife, and so cooking and everything will reduce. Okay, because everybody are busy with the work day to night. So that time you will have to have this in sales of these things has to be increased. Okay, so approximately 170% in sales volume increased, and that is about based on a data. Okay, global data. So health oriented startups and micro food processing unit, you would have seen many new startups are coming who are promoting healthy foods. Okay, like already we have a lot of eat fit, cult fit, and all these things. But there are many food items which like ready to eat also, and it is healthy also. It's not like using too much oils or too much reusing of oil. It'll be better. Okay, so access of micro, small, and medium enterprises to finance is a perennial problem, meaning it's a lifetime problem every time it is there. So now lack of proper credit history mechanism for MSC. This is like a historical issue. Okay, so now alternatives are peer-to-peer lending. Okay, and also we have this they are showing example of a UK based bank. Okay, this British business bank which is similar to our India's Mudra Bank, where we get loan up to I think 10 lakh rupees. So like that, the things peer to peer lending is helping all the small businesses, and India also it is a successful model. So this has to be again encouraged. Okay, and if you see, there is another scheme called this a thread scheme. Okay, trade receivables discounting scheme. This is a platform for facilitating the financing and discounting of trade receivables of MSMEs through multiple financiers. So the discounting, financing, all these happens through the scheme. So this and all you can quote. Okay, the first one I told you, this Mudra Bank is there, this thread scheme is there, then the PLIS scheme is there. All these are futuristic good things which will help in the increase the performance of all these MSMEs. Now platform requires considerable scaling up. Integrating this threads platform which we discussed earlier with the GST network, this will also help in all the proper invoicing and proper relief to the financiers. Everything will happen if you link these two things. Okay, now with growing populations, changing food habits, and unrestricted use of natural resources, nation must come together and lay out a roadmap for a common efficient food value chain. This is a very excellent statement which you can use in your conclusion or introduction. Okay, because it sums up a lot of things. So replacing the staples of rice and wheat in the form of nutri-cereals, plant-based proteins, fermented foods, health bars, and even fresh fortified foods for pets. So these are all the new age kind of healthy foods which are being replacing the rice and wheat. Okay, so these new brands, new categories, everything is being welcomed, and PLIS aim to increase or they aim to create an enabling ecosystem for innovation in both food products and processes. Okay, the products also should be unique and the process also. Now these are just telling like different timeline. There will be different things which will be marked as an index, like telling how the financial state of the country is. Okay, first they are telling this is actually the skirt length of the women, and also that is about the post depression time. Okay, that's the old age thing. Then after that we told like based on how much data obtained from satellites, based on that you can tell that's an indication of economic progress. And later, now the latest one, after 50 years they are predicting that the ability to sustainably feed their population, that will be an index to mark or measure how an economy is progressing. Okay, so different timeline, there was different indexes or reasons or different factors which will tell us whether our country is progressing economically. So the latest one they are telling ability to feed their population sustainably is the mark. Okay, now the Tamil Nadu model which I told. So, recent Supreme Court judgment was there where the this thing reservation for OBC in NEET exam in this All India Quota seats for undergraduate and postgraduate, this was upheld. Okay, so landmark history it is considered in this country. So this reservation. Okay, so we'll see what is the problem and what is the Tamil Nadu model and why are they modifying it. Okay, first thing is the merit versus reservation debate. Always we'll tell like we should give on merit or we should give on reservation. That debate is already always there, but here they are telling like there is a narrow definition of merit. Okay, because merit is not something like just not giving reservation, that doesn't mean merit. Merit should be socially contextualized and reconceptualized as an instrument that advances social goods like equality that we as a society value, meaning when everyone are treated equal, society is moving towards equity, only then merit has any value. Okay, you just tell like merit means giving everybody the same thing, same cutoff, same age limit, same this thing, that is not called merit. Okay, so reservation is needed because of the cultural and historical things. Okay, so the role of historical privileges is also need to be considered, not the illusory inborn ability. Okay, you born in a particular family or you born in a this thing, you cannot equate everything. Okay, there are things, factors which has to be considered based on social advancement. So the Tamil Nadu government, since the successive governments, everyone, they had always had a broad and inclusive understanding of the merit. Okay, the merit system. So now I will tell you how it is. The introduction of the scheme reserving 50% of the postgraduate and super specialty medical seat for government doctors. Okay, this helped in providing tertiary healthcare in government hospitals. Okay, meaning the 50% of the seats in postgraduate and super specialty medical seats, right? This is actually reserved for government doctors. So this what will happen is they will then work for the tertiary healthcare things, and always there will be no shortage of doctors. Okay, I'll tell you more details, you will understand better that time. So it resulted in the expansion of public health infrastructure in the state. This is Tamil Nadu model I'm telling. Okay, not the NEET exam type. Before that, so this one ensures the ability of specialists in multiple disciplines such as all these things. Okay, all the doctoring thing they have told here, and then in Madras Medical College in the 60s and 70s and all, this was successful model. Okay, the reservation of government doctors in super specialty courses contributed to a steady rise in availability of multi-specialty experts not only in metropolitan cities but also in tier 2 cities. Okay, because the government doctors, the normal MBBS people, they are given these seats in the extra special PG courses. Okay, the postgraduate courses, they will be available for the tertiary sector. Okay, today the public health sector in Tamil Nadu has 900 super specialists in different disciplines, a number comparable only to a few European countries. Okay, that is why we have excellent healthcare in the south states, which is Tamil Nadu, Kerala and all. They have excellent healthcare system because of their own unique model. Okay, so this has a dual effect. One thing is, as I told, the doctors will get reservation, right? But there is a condition. Okay, this encouraged young MBBS graduates to serve in rural areas, as serving for 3 years in primary health center in rural areas is an eligibility criterion for graduates to avail themselves for the reservation policy. Okay, meaning the doctors, MBBS graduates, they will be given 50% seats. Okay, reservation in the super specialty PG courses. But condition is that for 3 years you have to serve in the rural area. So what will happen? In the rural area, in the primary healthcare centers, there will be never shortage of doctors. Okay, the state PHCs and government hospitals never witness a shortage of doctor, because to get that reservation, these people after MBBS, they will go and serve in the rural area. So primary healthcare is done. After that, they will go to the tertiary, the super specialty courses. So in the tertiary sector also they reach. So always there is a doctors available in both the sides. Okay. Now, the healthcare managers in the Tamil Nadu government were not short-sighted while formulating the policy. They unveiled a unique superannuation bond for these government doctors to ensure that those who secure postgraduate or super specialty seat by availing themselves of in-service reservation will serve the government till their retirement. This is also there. Okay, meaning, as I told, first 3 years you have to do the rural area PHC, primary health center. After that, you get the super specialty course reservation. Okay, 50% seats are there, you get there. And then there is a bond that you have to lifetime fully serve in government service. So government tertiary hospital, super specialty hospitals, these doctors will be there. So this legal binding ensured that a vast majority of the specialists continues their service in the government sector throughout their career. Okay, so it will prevent the brain drain, that is people going out of the country, and also to the private sector. They will serve entire life in the government sector. Okay, because they have been given reservation. So this is a win-win situation for doctors also, government also. Okay, if you want to go in private sector and other things and all, you need not take up this reservation. Okay, you can go through the other usual way. Okay, so the unique scheme is present nowhere in the country. Okay, and they are telling two institutions, one is MMC and one is IIT Madras, where bright meritorious student has come out through these schemes. Okay, so these are the reformatory policies. But now NEET came. Okay, introduction of NEET and Regulation 9 by Medical Council of India. Everything has changed. The policy, admission, everything has changed. The weightage of government doctors who serve in rural areas has reduced. Okay, now the policy of giving only 50% of postgraduate diploma seats to service doctors, exempting postgraduate degrees. Okay, as after the NEET came, this postgraduate degree giving 50%, that is gone now. Only some diploma thing is given. That is where some reservation is given. So the policymakers in Delhi are yet to put forth their rationale for this myopic view in the public domain. So there is no explanation like why it is being forced onto everyone. So that is what is being questioned by the Tamil Nadu people. Okay, so union government went to the extent of filing affidavit opposing in service reservation before the Madras High Court and Supreme High Court. Okay, Supreme Court. So instead of understanding their concerns, they are actually giving or raising concerns in the court. The center themselves is raising concerns in the court. Okay. So this would completely jeopardize healthcare delivery system in the state. MCI, a regulatory watchdog which has no much legal teeth and no much powers to make policies, they have made such a rule which is not acceptable by the state. Union government has put the rural healthcare delivery system in peril. Okay, so in distress. So now everybody has to prepare for competitive exam instead of serving the poor in rural area, because everybody now the reservation, everything is now everything coming under NEET exam. So the old system is Tamil Nadu people used to follow, that is not possible. So this is like kind of narrow reading of what constitutes merit rather than an inclusive prism called public health. So they believe that they were reading a broad way the merit system, but center is putting a narrow view. Instead of trying to widen the scope of a time-tested practice, union government is hell-bent on unleashing misery. So this time-tested practice, which Tamil Nadu is following since many years in the 60s, that the union is not trying to understand. Instead, now union is also telling like, instead of moving these MBBS graduates to rural places, you can train these extra Ayush doctors and all, and then make them as rural physicians. So that also they are telling this kind of imaginary things won't work. Okay, proper MBBS graduates who are properly working, that and all replacing with Ayush doctors will not work. Okay, so now under this need, it became compulsory for individual states to surrender all the seats of super specialty courses to the central pool for common counseling. So I told you, right, the All India Quota, AIQ. So that contains all these things: 15% of MBBS seat, 50% of postgraduate seat, 100% of super specialty seat. These are all called the All India Quota, and this is now entirely in the center's pool. Okay. Now, this reintroduction of 50% service doctors reservation super specialty course, that is what the case has been filed in the Madras High Court. The court has directed the center to provide reservation for service doctors in super specialty center. So now whether the union government will act according to the Supreme Court judgment, or whether they will again continue to impose their narrow merit mindset, that is what we have to wait and see. Okay, so this is the article. Now, last article is the Holocaust. So 27th of January is the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Okay, this is the atrocities which was done on the Jewish people. Okay, around 6 million Jews were killed that time. You know, the Hitler's thing and all in world history we'll study. So anniversary of this event is being followed every year with a tagline which is never changed. Every year the same tagline, that is never again. Okay, so never again is the, see, this aphorism means the saying or the tagline or the motto of this day is never again. So that means this should never happen. So Holocaust is one of the most visible act of violence and discrimination. Yet lessons of the past seems to fade. Okay, this racial and religious intolerance and discrimination, hate speech, all these things are new things which is even there in the new global world. And so it is affecting the civilization values. Now Holocaust ignorance, distortion and denial are growing at an alarming rate. Okay, there is a Anti-Defamation League Global 100, some index. In their index, they are telling this anti-Semitism, that is anti-Jewish feelings, this has been increasing, and it is disturbing. The numbers which we see as per the index is disturbing. Okay, so it is there around the world also. Across Asia, only 23% of persons surveyed had heard of the Holocaust and believe the historical account. Meaning others don't even know what is Holocaust and what happened with the Jewish people. They don't even believe that such things happened in the history. Data from North America and Europe shows that younger people are less likely to be aware of the historical account of the Holocaust, meaning they are not even heard of these events, the new generation. Okay, so India's youthful democracy, these kind of statistics are important because youth are always vulnerable. They are the ones who immediately take extreme decisions because they get provoked or they get motivated, they get inspired by some religious leader speeches or some YouTube video, something they see, and they go and do unwanted things which is actually not right. Okay, they can develop hatred towards a particular group or particular religion. So engaging the youth with painful history of Holocaust and the ethical and moral issues it highlights has contemporary relevance. So you have to tell or teach the youth about the Holocaust and such events. So with a more globalized young generation, capitalizing on the power of education, communication, and connectivity is important as they are effective tools to galvanize people into action. So India's growing global influence and efforts towards digitization, this will be a great way. Okay, because we are moving towards digitization and networking, connectivity and all, so you can share the experience, you can share the knowledge videos, you can tell how you can strengthen your efforts against violence, all this discrimination, everything can be improved through the digitization thing which is going on. But it has to be carefully monitored also to see what information is being put in the social medias, in the YouTube and all, because misinformation or disinformation can leave the youth vulnerable again. Okay, so anti-Semitism can be now found in all social media platforms. So it has to be again filtered and removed. The situation is worse in language other than English. Okay, because you know these people like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and all, their moderation teams will be there who actually monitors all the content and then remove unwanted content. Their team will be mostly people who understand only English. So there is regional content. It's there in like Hindi, Malayalam. In India, there are that many languages there. Facebook content is also there in that many languages. So those things cannot be moderated. That cannot be filtered because they don't even understand what it is. So then you cannot remove. Okay, you cannot remove these content and it will reach the youth and it will create a affect a greater portion of the youth. Okay, so all these words which can spark like a wildfire and spread against people, they should be educated about the Holocaust. So India's vision to create an inclusive, equitable education that includes more detailed knowledge of various culture, religion, language, gender identity, this and all is going to be coming. Okay, when we have the National Education Policy 2020, that's actually a very a good step. So in that we can work on Holocaust education programs also. Every religion, minority, majority, whichever, they all should be knowing their past, their history, whatever they faced, and how you should live in harmony, fraternity. All these things should be taught. Embassies of Israel and Germany, with the support of UNESCO, is organizing a workshop also. Okay, because they are Israel, the Jewish people, they are trying to work a workshop on anti-Semitism for policymakers, school principals, and educators this February. So this can be then spread across the world. Okay, so the whatever training kits or educators they have, they will be the knowledge. They will be spreading it, and it will be telling like Holocaust should be like never again, and it should be an actionable promise emanating from our classrooms. So right from a small classroom level, it should be taught. Youth has to take forward the lessons, and then empowered with knowledge to combat myth and falsehood. So all the hate speech, all the fake news, all the false thing, all the provoking things, misleading things, this and all should be overpowered by giving them the right education. This is what the author is trying to tell. So hope it was clear. Please subscribe to this channel, because without your subscription we cannot continue this for free. So if you want free lectures, just hit the subscribe button and comment, and also contact me in WhatsApp. Okay, both the channels, please subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.